Welcome everyone to chair yoga. So today we will begin by sitting comfortably in our chair. Hands are resting in the lap, and we'll take a few moments to prepare the body. So go ahead and close the eyes or just drop the gaze. And turning the attention inward, taking note as to how your body feels, especially noting any areas of tension or tightness. And then taking 2 deep cleansing breaths. So take a nice big inhale through the nose and exhale it all out by blowing or sighing it out. And then one more nice big inhale and exhale it all out. And then soften the muscles of the face. Relax the muscles of the neck and the shoulders. And then turn the attention to the breath. Notice the inhale. And notice the exhale. And then we'll begin a nice, even breathing, inhaling and exhaling to a count of 4. So inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. And just continue with this nice, even breathing. If at any time it makes you lightheaded or dizzy, just go back to your own normal breathing pattern. And then we also set an intention for each practice to help remind us why we are here. So that may be a benefit you would like to receive, or just an uplifting or positive thought or phrase. So think of an intention that you'd like to have for your practice today. And then with your next inhale, go ahead and lift your head and open your eyes. And then we'll go ahead and begin our warm-up by turning our heads to look out over that right shoulder. And coming back to center and turning to look out over the left. And back to center, dropping the chin to the chest. And then picking the chin up towards the ceiling and jetting that lower jaw out. And coming back to center and dropping the right ear to the right shoulder. And back to center and left ear to left shoulder. And back to center. Extending the hands out in front, open and close the fingers. And then some wrist circles. And reverse. So we're going to do a little bit of the hand yoga. It's been a little while since we've done this. So we have a couple different movements with the hands to get the circulation going in the fingers and the palms. So we're going to start by making a fist with the left hand, and then you're going to use this part between the second and third knuckle, so that flat part of your fist. Take your left fist, and you're just going to begin to pound the palm of your right hand. So everything is this kind of pulsing movement. Now, if you wanted to try this at home, you would do it to a count of 40. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, it's pretty fast. Good. And then switch. So left or right hand's going to palm the left. Good. All right. Now you're going to take your fingers and you're going to thread them, and then you're going to pulse here. Good. Now, look at which index finger is first and then switch them. So now the other index finger is first and pulse there. Good. Woo, feel that in your shoulders too. Now you're going to do in between the index finger and the thumb. Just this quick pulsing. Now flip your hands and try it again. Good. And the last move, we'll take the back of the left hand and you're going to slap the back of the right hand. Good. And switch. Good. Now, just place your hands on your thighs and take a moment. You can even close your eyes if you like and just focus on those hands. So hopefully you feel the tingling in those fingers. You've gotten the circulation going. Good. So those are great ways. If your fingers are tight, a lot of times you get arthritis in the joints. This is a good way to get that circulation going. All right. Keeping the elbows alongside the body, bring the hands so the palms are facing each other. And then we're just going to bend from the wrist, take the hands to the right and then to the left. So it's like a little school of fish, changing directions here. So just working the wrist a little bit. Good. And then just release, shake it all out. And sitting up nice and tall, then we'll do some shrugs. So picking the shoulders up, pulling them down. And then next time you pick them up, roll them to the back. Good. And bringing those shoulders back to neutral, we're going to bring the arms out in front of us, bend the elbows, and then put your palms up towards the ceiling. And we're going to do this movement like you're pushing the ceiling up. It's falling down, and you got to push it back up there. Good. Press it up. Good. Now, bring the hands out in front, and you're going to push them forward and release. Push, like a wall is falling or a door is opening, and you want to stop. So stop. Press. Press through those shoulders. Good. Couple more. Good. And then release it, shake it out, or wiggle it out. Good. And then we'll extend that right leg, point and flex the foot. And some ankle circles. And reverse. Good. And then the other leg, point and flex. And circles. And reverse. Good. Bring that left leg in. And then the right leg, we're going to slide it out. I'm going to move up a little bit. You may want to give yourself a little more room. So slide that foot out. Keep your heel on the floor. Then lift it up just so the thighs are even. And then slowly bend the knee and bring the foot back and down. Good. So slide it, lift, bend, and down. Good. Slide, lift, slow on the bend. That's when you feel that quad working. Good. And once more. All of that. Good. And down. Try it on the left. Slide, lift. That slow bend is working. Good. And down. There we go. Good. Two more. And down. Last one. Good. And then sitting up nice and tall, you probably will want to sit mid-seat or so here. We'll take that right knee, step it wide, back to center. Good. Just an in and out here. Warming up the hip. Good. One more. Good. Let's try it on the left. Step wide, back in. Good. One more. Good. And then sitting up nice and tall, bring the right arm alongside the body. Inhale, sweep that left arm up, and exhale, bend to the right. Coming back to center, switch arms. Inhale, exhale to the left. Good. Coming back to center, and then we'll come into a twist. So left hand on the right knee. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, turn and look to the right. Good. Release the twist back to center, switch hands. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale, turn and look to the left. Good. Releasing the twist back to center. Coming into a spinal warm-up of cat-cow. So the cow is arching the spine, looking up. Cat is rounding. You drop the chin to the chest. If you have osteoporosis, eliminate that rounding. Just keep the back in neutral. All right, so with our inhale, we'll tilt forward as we lift the chest up, arching the spine. And then exhale, either just coming into neutral or rounding the back, dropping the chin to the chest. And then inhale, rolling back into cow. Exhale, neutral or cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And last one, inhale, cow. Good. Exhale, cat. And then coming back to neutral, do a little hip walk to the edge of the chair. And we're going to come up to standing, but we're going to work those legs on the way up. So we're going to do something called a kickstand. You're actually going to be using one leg over the other. So it's a way to build strength in each leg. So we'll start by just keeping the right leg a little bit out in front of you. Then slide your left foot back so you're on the ball of that left foot. And then you're going to shift the weight forward and come up to standing. And as you do that, you're going to have probably about 85% of the weight just in that right leg. So we're going to come up, sit down, try it again. So we're going to try that 6 times on each side. So it's starting with just the right leg forward, shift the weight, press into that right leg, come on up. Good. Then sit on back down. Now, if you feel uncomfortable with the chair being out, then make sure you're not going too far forward. Good. Here we go. Here's 2. Back down. 3. 4. 5. Good. One more on this right side. 6. Good. All right. Have a seat. Switch legs. So left leg comes a little bit forward. You're just going to slide that right foot back. All right. Here we go. On the 6th one, just stay standing. All right. Come on up. 1. 2. 3. 4. 2 more. 5. Good. Last one here. 6. Good. All right. Walk it out. Shake it out a little bit. And then go ahead and come around behind your chair. All right. So we're going to start in mountain pose. So having those legs hip width apart, finding the 4 corners of the feet, tightening up the front of the thighs, arms alongside the body. Good. Tighten and lift the abdominals, lengthen up through the spine. Good. Pick the shoulders up, roll them down the back. Pull the neck back a little bit. Line up those ears with your shoulders. But keep your chin parallel to the floor. And then gazing forward. Good. And continue to breathe. Good, and then we'll do a couple little warm-ups here. So placing the hands on the hips and widening your feet just a little bit. We're going to do some pelvic circles. So taking those hips and just making some nice big circles. Good, and then reverse. Good, and coming back to center. And then keeping the left hand on the hip, the right arm alongside the body. Inhale to lengthen, and then exhale, we'll bend down to the right. Good. Inhale back to center, switch hands, bring the left arm down, and exhale to the left. Good. Come back to center. Let's try that again. So inhale, exhale to the right. Good. Back to center, switch hands, lengthen, and exhale to the left. Good. And coming back to center, release the arms down, let the knees be loose, and then turning from the waist, let the arms just swing as we release the spine, doing a little twist. Good. And then, as you are behind the chair, placing your hands on the chair, we'll come into downward facing dog. So, extending through the arms, walk those feet back. Begin by bending the knees, extending through the arms and the shoulders, and then dropping the chest down. The head is just about between the arms. And then depending on the hamstrings, either keeping a little bend in them or possibly straightening them. Again, you should just feel a nice deep stretch. There shouldn't be any pain or discomfort in those hamstrings. Make sure you're monitoring that and continue to breathe. Good, and then to come out of the pose, if your legs were straight, bend your knees, walking forward and lifting the torso. And then using the chair, I'm just going to bring mine over here, we're going to come into tree pose. So we'll start by having the left side closest to the chair. So we'll shift the weight into that left leg. Bend the right knee, take it out a little bit on that diagonal, and then either bring the right foot in to rest on the left ankle, or you can pick the foot up and rest it on the outside of the left calf. So you're completely standing on that one leg. Keep a hand on the chair. Bring the other hand to the heart or both hands here. Find your gazing point. If you feel okay here, then extending either one arm up, keeping the other on the chair, or both arms for your branches. Good. Continue to breathe. Good, and then go ahead and release those arms down. Release that right leg, and then we'll try it on the other side. So coming around the other side of the chair. Shifting the weight now over to the right leg. Tightening up the front of the thigh. Keep those abs tight too. Bend the left knee. Again, you're just going to bring it on that diagonal. Keep the toes on the floor if you need to. If that gives you a little better balance here, then stay here. Or you can pick that foot up. Again, you're welcome to keep a hand on the chair. Extend one or both arms up. Good. And coming back to that nice, even breathing. Good, and then go ahead and release those arms down. Release that left leg. Walk it out a little bit. All right, so coming behind the chair, I'm going to put mine to the side so that you can see me, but otherwise have the chair in front of you. We're going to come into a wide stance. So you want to have your feet wider than your hips. And again, the chair is there if you need it to hold on to. So we're going to come into star pose. So keeping the legs wide, inhale and bring the arms up to shoulder height. Good. Now we're going to activate these muscles in the glutes by pressing out through the outer edges of your feet. Do you feel those muscles tightening up here? So press out. Good. Continue to breathe. So you're contracting those muscles, but you're not moving them. It's called an isometric contraction. Good. It's important to keep breathing. Good. And then from here, go ahead and relax your arms a second. We're going to come into triangle. So we'll start by turning the right leg or the right foot out at 90 degrees and then line up the right heel with the instep of the left foot. You're going to keep this leg straight. So tighten up the front of that right thigh. Come back to the arms at shoulder height. Take a nice big inhale, lengthen the spine. And with your exhale, you're going to lean to the right. When you've gone as far as you can and you've kept that left shoulder open, then bring that right hand down. It might be on your thigh, might be on your shin. Try not to put it right on your knee joint. And then extending the left arm up or placing it on your hip, working on opening up that left shoulder. So I'm going to bring my arm here. Your palm is facing forward. Good. And then just continue to breathe. Good. And then with the inhale, lift the torso. Exhale, bring the arms down. Go ahead and turn that left foot in, or right foot in. We'll try it on the left. So now you're going to turn that left foot out. Again, unless the hamstrings are really tight where you need to keep a bend in it, try to keep that left leg straight. Tighten up the left quadricep or the front of the thigh. You may feel your kneecap being pulled up, and that will protect that knee joint. And then bringing the arms up, turning to face the front. So you're turning from the waist. Good. Inhale to lengthen. And then exhale, shift the weight to the right hip as you lean to the left as far as you can. And then bringing that left hand down. And again, it may be on your thigh or on your shin. Extending the right arm up or placing it on your hip. Good. Try to keep the pelvis in line with the legs. So in other words, you're not pushing your hips back. You're keeping the hips in line with that front leg. Good, and continue to breathe. Good, and then with the inhale, come on up. And exhale, bring the arms down. Turn that left foot forward And then just do a little heel toe until you can walk the legs together. And then shake those legs out a little bit. All right, so we're going to do a little stretch for the IT band since we've used it quite a bit here. So if you want to hold on to the chair, just standing perpendicular to the chair, we'll start with putting the weight in the right leg. Take your left leg, step it behind the right leg. So it's kind of a narrow stance here. And then sweep the left arm up and then to the right. So you should feel a nice stretch down that left side. Good. And then coming back to center, release. And we'll try it on the other side. I'm just going to move my chair around here. Going to turn around. So the weight's in the left leg. Bring the right foot, just cross it behind the left. And then sweep the right arm up and exhale as you bend to the left. Good, and then coming back to center, release that right arm. And then we'll go ahead and have a seat if you would like to grab a drink on the way down. Always make sure you have your water nearby and take a drink whenever you need to. All right, so sitting in the middle of the chair, we're going to come into a chair twist. So we're going to step that right leg wide, just like we did in the warm-up, only this time we're going to turn our hips so we're facing to the right, and then bring your left leg over to meet your right leg. So now you're sitting and facing to the right. And then we'll inhale to lengthen, and with the exhale, turn to the right, towards the back of the chair. And you can hold on to the back of the chair for support as you look out over that right shoulder. Good, and then exhale as you release the twist. And then we'll take our legs and swing them all the way around to the other side. Good, so now you're facing left. Inhale to lengthen. And again, with your exhale, turn and look to the left. Good, and then exhale, release the twist. And then swing those legs around so that you come back to facing forward. And then we'll come into a hamstring stretch. So you'll want to extend your right leg. So position yourself, back up a little bit here, so that you can extend that right leg out, heels on the floor, toes are pointing up. Then you're going to take your left leg, take your left heel and place it on top of your right toes. So hopefully you can see how my feet are stacked on top of one another. And then you want to sit up nice and tall. So I'm feeling a nice stretch here in my left hamstring. So that's what you want to achieve. If you're a little more flexible and you want to deepen the stretch, you're going to bend from the hip and just bring the chest forward a little bit. And you're going to feel that deepening in that stretch. So just make sure, again, it's just a deep stretch. You're not straining. There isn't any pain, anything like that. And continue to breathe. Good. And then bringing the torso back to neutral. Release the left leg, and then we'll switch. So left leg stays in front, heel on the floor, toes up. Then take your right heel, place it on top of your left toes. Okay. And again, now you're feeling that in that right hamstring. If you do want to deepen the stretch, bring the chest forward a little bit. Good, and then with your inhale, lift the torso, release the right leg. And then sitting about midway in the chair. If you're okay crossing your thighs, we're going to pick up the right leg and cross it, not completely over, about halfway. You're going to take your hands and hold on to the top of that right shin, and then you're going to pull that right knee towards the left shoulder. So you can see I'm not touching my thighs. I just kind of crossed more the calf over my left thigh, so I can see how I can move my leg, my hip, basically, that thigh back and forth, and I'm just going to pull that right knee towards my left shoulder. Now, if you've been told not to cross like that, then just cross on the ankle and open up that right knee. That will also stretch that right hip. That's basically what we're trying to achieve here, is just a nice stretch in that right hip. Good. And then continue to breathe. Good. And then go ahead and release. So it's a little different stretch than this one, the reclined pigeon. You can probably feel a difference in the muscles. If you've been told not to do that internal rotation like that, then just stay here, cross on the ankles, open up that left knee, and then you'll be stretching out through that glute. Otherwise, cross the left calf over the right thigh. So again, see how you've got room to move that leg back and forth. And then holding on, you're just going to hug that knee, that left knee, towards your right shoulder. So I'm feeling that down in my glute. It's actually more the piriformis than the glute. So just a different stretch. Getting, some different muscles than our reclined pigeon. Good, and breathe. Good, and then as you uncross the right leg, whether you're up there or on the ankle, we'll come into a wide knee. Make sure you're up towards the edge of the chair. Placing the hands on the inner thighs. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, just tipping forward from the hip, pressing those arms into the thighs, keeping the chest lifted. So your back is nice and straight. You're about, at a 45-degree angle or so here. Keeping the back straight. You should feel a nice stretch in those inner thighs. Good. Continue to breathe. Good. And then with the inhale, go ahead and lift the torso. And then walk those feet in. And then do a little hip walk towards the back of the chair as we come into our final relaxation for Savasana. So resting the hands in the lap. Again, just closing the eyes or dropping the gaze. And turning the attention back to the breath. Notice the inhale. And notice the exhale. Feel the breath as it enters the nostrils and flows into the lungs. Focus on the rib cage as it expands with each inhale and contracts with each exhale. And then focus on the physical body. Relax all the muscles from the feet all the way up to the crown of the head. Release any tension or tightness. And then focus on the mind. Release any thoughts, worries, or anxieties. With your next inhale, think the word so. With the exhale, think the word hum. Which means I am. Or use any other words or phrase that has meaning to you. And give yourself just a few moments to completely let go. deepen your breath. And then start moving your fingers and toes. And then the wrists and the ankles. And slowly bending one knee and then the other. Keeping the body relaxed and the eyes closed for another moment. Focus on the intention that you set at the beginning of the practice. And then taking one more deep cleansing breath. So take a nice big inhale and exhale it all out. And then go ahead and lift your head and open your eyes. And thank you all so much for joining me today. Namaste.